The municipality of Oakland-Wawanesa would like to acknowledge and recognize that they're operating on Treaty 1 and Treaty 2 lands, being the original territory of the Anishinaabe and Dakota nations from the homelands of the Métis Nation. First item is the adoption of the agenda. Being resolved that the agenda for the June 18, 2024 meeting be accepted as presented, with the addition of a draft drainage bylaw for review under the order of general business. Please. Seconder. All in favor? Be resolved that the minutes of May 21st, 2024 regular meeting of the county hereby approved as circulated. Seconder, Councillor Fisher. Any errors or omissions? All in favor? Okay, general accounts payables. Be resolved that the June 11th, 2024 general accounts payable being checks numbered 7331 to 7382 in the amount of $889,517.67 be hereby approved. Let me move that. Councillor Don, seconder. Councillor Fisher, discussion. In favor? Be it resolved that direct deposit 315 being staff payroll for the period May 13th to May 24th. 2024 in the amount of $14,943.76 be hereby approved. Donald moves it, second Councillor Rowan. Discussion. All in favor? Carried. Be it resolved that direct deposit 316 being staff payroll for the period May 27th to June 7th, 2024 in the amount of $14,558.96 be hereby approved. Councillor Rowan, seconder. Discussion. All in favor? Be resolved that direct deposit 317 being council indemnities for the month of May 2024 in the amount of $5,755.19 be hereby approved. Move that. Donald, second. Councillor Hatch. Discussion. Be resolved that the June 11th, 2024 utility accounts payable being checks number 1161 to 1166 in the amount of $9,723.04 be hereby approved. Move that. Councillor Hatch, seconder. Councillor McDonald, discussion. Favor. Be it resolved that the statement of revenue and expenditures report to May 31st, 2024 be received as presented. Do that. Second, Councillor Hatch. Discussion.
Just I see in there that we have the truck rental in there at 35,000, but it's also shown to have gone to over 35. Did we not discuss that we were going to try and cut that back by a month or two, that rental?
We talked about it, yeah.
To
What line are you referring to?
I didn't write down the line item. Just had made some notes on it, but I just assumed from our discussion that there was going to be discussion with Inland to try and cut that back a month or two, maybe give a little more work to the contract.
I think concerns were that we didn't have. In reality, he's going to have tons of work. For the contractor himself, with all these road projects going on the go here, so never did hear back from Chelsea and whether they give us like any terms on monthly rates for this truck.
I mean, just we could take it back earlier is kind of what I was thinking.
Okay.
But we have that big road to do. Thing we got from last year, we have to haul in a bunch of it around there. There's a few secondary roads.
Can we maybe just, keep that in mind for as we get down the road and maybe look at taking it back a month or so early? I mean, if you break it down, if you go further down to where the payment was made for a 1 week period, we're paying almost $1,100 a week for that, just for the rental on that truck. Mm-hmm. And the trailer, almost a $10,000 repair which if we're putting more work to the contractor, they pay their own repairs. So, you know, as I've stated earlier, I'm talking about this, to me, when you look at the economics would say that it's a lot less expensive to have the contractor doing the bulk of the work at least.
I know, and however, even right now, finding contractors to do some of our projects to get all the ducks in a row is gonna be a real task.
Well, I think when we were first discussing this, we were talking strictly about gravel haul,
Yeah.
and not the side projects that are the extra projects. And I, you know, of course, just looking at the dollars and cents, and I mean, this, as I say, this repair jumps out at us as a major cost to owning and operating a truck, so.
Part of it also, was with dust control right now too, right? So we wanted to have it to lay some gravel down before the dust control spots get done.
Right. And dust control may not be that big an issue this year.
When I
Who knows?
This is the side. Anyhow,
Who knows?
I just, that was an observation on the truck rental. You know, personally, and again, when we talked about it before, when you're paying $35,000 per year for a truck, most businesses would say, you know, that's a lot of money in I don't know how long we've had the truck, we've had the rental, but 2 to 3 years and you'd own it, as opposed to just blowing that money out the door. And I'm not suggesting we should own the truck, don't get me wrong, but those are two sides to that story.
I'm gonna just interrupt here. That line item shows that we haven't spent any money. In fact, we got credit on it. So I'm not sure what the reference, other than the fact that we got it in the budget.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, I was wondering when I saw that, why did it show 35,295 instead of 35?
It looks to me like you're showing a credit of $295. Am I reading that correct?
Yes, you are reading it correct. And there was a refund from in last year, I believe. So it went
So, I mean, that gives us all kinds of options to,
expensive.
as we go forward, to watch what we're spending on it and to deal with it. But at this point, there's nothing spent.
And just to confirm, in the financial plan, it was the 35,000 that was included.
We're not over budget in any way, but I think it's something we.
Well, we, just a note there, we are over budget on repairs to the trailer. We budgeted 3,000, already at 9,200.
That's a different line item there than what the.
That same unit.
Next year could be zero.
Doubtful.
Could. Nothing's ever zero.
Doubtful.
Further, all in favor?
You have a mover and a seconder on that.
Yeah.
I think I started looking for the item.
That was myself. Very good thinking.
Mike?
I don't care. Go ahead. Mike.
McDonald and Hatch.
Good. Yeah.
Oh, I know. Sorry, I was looking at bank recs already. Never mind.
All right, bank reconciliations be resolved that the bank reconciliation for the month of May 2024 be approved as previously circulated. With that. Fisher, seconder. Perhaps discussion? In favor? Okay, delegations, we have communications.
Under the order of communications, we have the Age-Friendly Manitoba Division. Several from the Association of Manitoba Municipalities. They are dated May the 15th, May the 16th, May the 17th, May the 24th, and June the 7th. We have information from Audio Cinema Films with respect to their summer cinema activities. The Central Assiniboine Watershed District provided information on grants for repairing damages from vehicles such as four-wheel drive or from quads. Ducks Unlimited provided information on their Duck and Run event. Enbridge provided information on their land use planning near Enbridge pipelines. Grant Curry and Trucking Limited gave us an introduction to their business for wood grinding. Federation of Canadian Municipalities provided several communiques. They are dated May the 15th, May the 17th, 2 on May the 21st, May the 22nd, May the 23rd, May the 27th, June the 3rd, June the 5th, and June the 10th. Hudson Bay Route Association gave notice that their annual general meeting has been postponed until August 12th and 13th. Manitoba Association Resource Recovery Corp provided their annual report. Municipal World gave information from their May and June editions. Statistics Canada provided the Data Lens edition for Manitoba. And there were some thank yous received for grants and bursaries that have been dispersed.
Okay, be it resolved that the above noted communications be received. Councilor Fisher, second, Councilor Rome, discussion. Favor. Committee reports, Councilor Fisher, you have written report, anything to add to it?
Nothing to add.
Mr. Jones is not available. Councilor Hatch, you have written report, anything to add?
None.
Councilor Rome, you have written report, anything further to add?
I don't,
Councilor McDonald, you have a written report, anything to add to it?
Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to add that, Dale Seafoot is the new senior for seniors coordinator for Oakland-Wawanesa, and he has agreed to come under a handyman board. So he lives in Carroll or Nesbit, and he's going to be on our board. So looking forward to working with him. He'll be, so,
Nice to have him on the board.
yes, that's it. Thank you.
Councilor Greg McGregor has a written report. The council has written reports. Nothing further to add to it. Gail.
Nothing to add.
Finance officer, anything to add to your report?
Just that I've been trying to connect, it's being a holiday. And I attended the Western District AMM meeting in Burton. And did a mandatory survey for Statistics Canada, among other things, since I came back.
Okay, Public Works, anything to add to your report?
No, thank you.
Their chief's report is there. Be it resolved that the verbal and written reports be received. Move that. Seconder. Councilor Hatch. Favor? Great. Okay, we have none, but you, hold on, we're gonna do that.
Yeah, I can't put it on as the bylaw. We didn't have enough time to give it the notice.
Okay, so. To the streetlights.
Yes.
Be resolved that solar lights be installed at the intersection of 48 North and Highway 10 as a project at a cost of approximately $300. Did you move that? And seconder. Fisher, discussion? Anything else, Councilor Rome?
so Chelsea, how many, other sites are kind of under that same situation? So we have an idea of what this could cost us in the end.
Just for the mailbox, is you're asking?
Right.
I think that they are the only ones. Carol,
Turkey Ranch isn't?
I'm pretty sure they're not as dark as say that. But either way,
Yeah, it'd be,
we're gonna try these ones. If they work well, then we can get more.
well, I mean, potentially, I mean, if people see them there, they're gonna want them at theirs, and I mean,
Absolutely.
I know Turkey Ranch is as much in the dark as that one's. What's our other ones along there, Craig?
Butcher shop.
Tower Road, yeah, Tower Road Butcher Shop, same idea. I don't know, does Rothwaite would be the same, although not the same situation, like there are no streetlights in. Nesbitt's probably covered by nearby ones. Carroll, is it covered?
Yeah, that one's lit up.
So potentially 2 or 3 more.
Okay, so we'll try this one. If they work well, then we'll address the other ones. I don't want to put them all up if they're not right.
No, I'm just saying that potentially we'll have other people, as soon as they realize it's there, others asking. So
Makes sense.
Is this, unit, this light, is it got the solar panels all together as one unit, or how does this work?
Let's see.
I would note that we had originally ordered these ones in order to put them up at the waste transfer station. But because the motion was tabled, see what solar panels would do for the mail. We didn't install them yet, waste transfer station.
that brings up the other But I'd asked Chelsea that last time we heard of this is the rural station, the light is not.
I'm just getting ready to go in camera. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm jumping on there.
So it's just,
Oh, yeah, seen those on.
so solar on the front or on the back and then
So
mount them up high so nobody can break it.
So
But yeah,
putting
like
your-
Tony said, you can go
you're gonna have to know, how do we do that so that the solar panels facing south? Catch all most of the sunlight. If your lights facing mailboxes.
Well, it should be like on Tower Road, on the Clementi Road. They're on, the mailboxes are on the south side of the road, so the posts can go up behind the mailboxes. So that would give you solar
Oh,
panels.
so we're putting our own post into.
We're gonna have to,
In.
Are they motion activated or no?
if we need one, I'd have to.
Maybe just-
You do
It'd be a
both.
a fence or a dark fence.
Be smart.
Yeah, just.
Well, if they were motion activated, then they're really smart. Well, yeah. Looks like
Mike was just saying is that motion activated.
Is it motion activated?
It can be, there's a remote that comes with it, but I'd rather not get into that.
Well, because you
I
don't
don't
want it to, you don't want it to go all night or it'll only work for.
I don't know, I think that if it's on all the time when it's dark, that's fine.
Yeah, will it last till Chelsea? Like, does it?
So,
Well,
Mhm.
give it a try, yes.
Yeah. For $300, it's worth the truck.
The motion ones are great because they only come on and stay on while you're.
I'm sure that there's a setting for the motion. If that's what you guys prefer.
all in favor? Be it resolved that the regular meeting now adjourned for in-camera meetings to discuss matters in a preliminary stage and under subsection 152(3)(b)(3) and 4 and 5 rather of municipal act. And all matters discussed in camera are confidential until discussed in an open meeting as per section 83(1)(d) of the municipal act. Let's move that. All seconder, Councillor Fisher, Councillor Rome, all in favor?
Yeah, we're good.
Sit here. Do that first, and then-
You wanted to go through the order, it'll only take 5 minutes to get us to where.
Okay. Be it resolved that the quote for Net2 360 for the Net2 360 subscription and bill clip maintenance plan in the amount of $4,795 be accepted. Wish to move that. All seconder, Councillor Fisher, discussion.
That's utility, is it?
Yes, it is.
Utility.
And if I recall, we've had to do this once before, didn't we? It's,
Well, what was the subscription price that?
That's Elaine.
It's gone up a little bit.
That's a remote reader? Is it? That's-
No, it's the same as like, so we're 3 years, one last time. And it was- this is the same as the third year. In the previous.
All in favor?
Do you want to do the 2 items out of in camera?
Oh, yes, okay. Be it resolved that the animal control bylaw and the fees and charges bylaw be amended to include fees for animal control to recoup costs, a $25 administration fee. That. Second, Councillor Fisher, discussion. All in favor?
Were we gonna, were we gonna hold that administration fee at 25 or put it to 100?
If you wish to amend it, you can amend it here.
I was going to say, I think the administration fee and the fees and charges bylaw for everything else right now is at 25. If you want to amend it to 100, we could do that at second reading. We could give you an idea of what other bylaw we charge the administration fee.
Dust control for sure. Is there anything else?
I'm not sure.
So take a look at the fee schedule.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it could be amended at second reading.
Okay. All in favor? Sure. And then be it resolved that administration be instructed to arrange a home inspection for the property at 116 3rd Street in Wawanesa at the owner's expense to determine the safety and habitability of the property. Move that. Mr. Fisher, seconder. Donald, All in favor? Okay.
Okay, application for tile drainage.
Yeah.
And we have one of the applicants in attendance to provide some information to council.
Okay, so, this was, did we table it or just leave it for this meeting?
It just came in for this meeting. What has happened is that following the first application that was received, NextGen has revisited the application. They have pulled the outlet to the tile drainage further back onto the property. And they have provided a letter from the downstream property owner authorizing this application to be considered. And I don't know, Mr. Hargraves, if there's other information that you could add.
Worry about what your concerns were and I'll address them.
The water, we always had that drainage issue in the Carroll area. With depending on Sewers Glenwood to clear it kind of going to the west. And that's kind of been done at least in part.
All the Carroll drainage issues fixed because of our farm divot.
Yeah.
We went and trenched a half mile where the problem was and we drained the water flows. There's another project going on with another farm, another tile company that's draining the other mile of the same place we did. So they can tile into it and it should really make a big difference. But I drove by Carroll yesterday, water's still down. We've had 10 inches of rain since April 15th. It's not lapping up against the road, it's still low. Past councils, 2 and 3 councils ago, spent hundreds of thousands of dollars trying to drain Carroll, and we did it for about $2,000 of our own money. So I really don't think that a little bit of tile going into there and the water flows west, not east, and we're dumping west,
Yeah,
will cause a big issue.
and tile drainage doesn't come where spring runoff. That is at a later date.
Well, it comes at a different time, right?
Yeah.
It's, you really don't create any more water, you're creating, you know, I've used this, take a sponge and a tap. The soil is the sponge, fills the sponge, as soon as it's full, it drips out the bottom, tile's taking the excess. You're not making the line any drier. And then when it rains, it's supposed to absorb more. So, yeah, if you go a mile west of the boundary road, and we have land and it drains across into Glenwood's municipal runway. We trenched it. The water for years had lapped up against the road and it's now full.
Yeah.
And we've just, within 4 or 5 hours, the water dropped.
Mr. Turner obviously signed off, but it's what,
Murray Turner had signed off. Yeah, he's happy enough with how the water's flowing now and not flooding down the bottom of his, yeah. Yeah, I also think that, I mean, when I was on council here, the railroad pounded 4 culverts straight through the tracks and we couldn't do anything about it. And any more problems? I don't think so, but we have no control over that, right? So.
yes,
No, Mr. Chairman, just a question for Brett, like, and you mentioned it, like, I remember once before we had the trouble and we were trying to work with where's Glenwood with the drain and you just talking about it. So that drain has been cleaned out or
We
it's
cleaned it a half mile to get it flowing again.
so it is flowing,
Yes,
all that was building up and holding it back. It's,
I mean, there's still water sitting in the ditch and stuff, but like we paid for the LiDAR. Like the drainage, like if you really look at in this country, how much water goes west? Drains west, almost none.
Yeah.
Carroll drains west, like it's almost an anomaly.
As soon as you hear it, most people say water doesn't run up to it.
Yeah, but there it's slightly down, like west is slightly downhill. So, I mean, it does drain west, but it doesn't drain wonderfully. It does go west.
Yeah.
For sure.
That was my concern, that ditch is not properly taken care of. with all the cattails and everything. I do appreciate what you guys did there. It's absolutely made a difference in Carroll, what you guys have done downstream. More of my concern is the culverts and the infrastructure that we haven't budgeted to replace if we needed to. That's
Where you talked, where you're speaking at.
like the, just
Which-
when I met with Mylan, I asked him, you know, where the water was gonna be outputted. He said it would land in Carroll. That's what Mylan said. So when we talked about it, obviously that would be an issue. But he did say you guys had a different plan that you could put into play, which is obviously what you done, so.
Well, we moved it back, so it's
Exactly.
draining on grass and the water's still gonna end up to the railway tracks, go through the culvert, through the railway tracks, through the culvert across the road and into Murray Turner's and down the road and over and then go all the way through our land and back over and all the way to Surf River eventually. So it's gonna follow the south ditch on Murray's and go west from there. Wow, it's going over onto Murray is what you're saying. Going on, it goes south, goes south and then into Murray's and then down there and then west, culverts west and then into, yeah. And the problem, the whole backup problem was a mile west of Murray's, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it should get better because that other firm and that farmer are draining at least a mile. But it's all RM right away, right? RMs aren't paying to do it, so we're doing it. And if we were tiling, you'd still have a problem in Carroll, because we wouldn't have drained it. Well, the problem in Carroll's been not a long-standing one. Oh, it's. I mean, the water table's high there to start with, and I mean, even back, yeah, there was a lot of issues there, so. But I mean, I drove by there yesterday, looked at the culverts, it's draining across. I went right by Carroll, like I remember when I was on council, it was lapping up against the road, it's been a lot of rain this spring and it's in check. Have you had any major complaints from Carroll on water this year?
Okay, or anything?
Just last year,
Pardon?
just last year, not this year so far.
Last year,
Last year,
never rained.
In the beginning, I did.
but yeah.
But some whole southern area is always pretty, the water table is pretty high.
I have one more question. So on here, is this two, on the picture I have, it's got two red spots on it. Is that where you have two drains coming out of that?
No, there's only one.
So to go into that big, where the big line is? I can see two red spots on there.
The red spots are the mains. They'll tie into. Oh, that's not, that's better. No, yeah, there will be two. That'll be a gravity there. So the east one will be a pump.
Okay.
And then the west one will just gravity, it'll be a gravity that'll run down our field and drain into the same spot that the pump is. And where that pump, where that says the lift station is,
Right.
like that's all grass area that someone pays for us.
Okay.
So it's not farmed, so the water's gonna drain into there. Then it just makes its way to the,
And the west one is gonna be, it'll just run down the edge of.
yeah, like it'll be a small one. And so when next gen permits this, it shows that the whole farm's getting tiled. That won't be the case. But we ran into problems before where we don't do the whole thing and we want to do this, then it's a whole bunch more trouble. So we do it to tile the whole thing, but I would hazard a guess 30 to 35% of the field if you only have time. Maybe not even that much. Long and Creek.
So all the high grounds.
All the high ground. would be great. Just on that creek is sour and. Yeah. So why would you permit it? Right? Why would they not be more receptive to less tile as opposed to more? Just to pick when they permit it? Yeah, well, because sometimes you get in there and it's, oh, maybe we should have done this or that and then we've got it before. I don't disagree with you that maybe the whole thing should be grid tile. It should be actually what we're doing. I don't disagree with you, but.
No, I'm not saying that it should be. I'm just saying, like, why do they want to see you show it as all being done when less being done should be less of a
an issue for anybody.
Oh, it should be, absolutely.
Yeah.
It just delays the whole process if you make changes, you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, because then it's gotta come back to here, it's gotta go back to the province and it's,
But you have to have these, publishing across their infrastructure.
sure.
And that's what I'm gonna mention. That's their culvert under their tracks, right?
It is, yeah.
So he said you guys have to go do that first.
If we put a pipe on there, we.
Yeah.
But we're not putting-
Is there
We've
any,
done that before.
any shut off at the outlet? Is there a shut off at the outlet at all?
Well, the lift station is powered, so it can be shown on, whatever. The other one won't have that.
Tile drainage is passive drainage. It's not like you're getting a big flush like you do in Spring Mill.
I understand that, and I think tile drainage has been misunderstood by a lot of people. We had a very good presentation at one of the meetings, our caucus meetings, and we'll get those people to come and tell us about it. But they're using it in some instances for irrigation, backing it up the other way.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, that's how useful it can be. It's not only for wet season, but it can be for dry seasons too.
Yep.
So, I mean, and how it doesn't affect the environment, all that. Kind of stuff. It was a very good presentation. It's one of the best I've seen. Okay, all right, anything else? On.
That captures what has been said.
Okay.
What may have been said.
Any questions on here?
Whereas updated information has been received from Next Gen Drainage Solutions on behalf of Far West Farms Limited with respect to a proposed trial drainage project located in West Half 31719 WPM. And whereas a newly proposed drainage flows onto the landowner's home property through culverts and onto the adjacent property with the owner's consent. And whereas the work previously undertaken by the property owner has reduced flooding concerns, therefore be it resolved that the application by Next Gen Drainage Solutions on behalf of Far West Farm Limited for tile drainage on the West 31719 WPM be approved. Move that. Commissioner Rome. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Thanks for the additional information.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, whereas council appointed members to various boards and committees in December, and whereas citizen appointee Shirley McBurney has resigned from the Vendrell South
That's Cypress, Oakland-Wawanesa.
Oakland-Wawanesa Handyman Committee. That's a mouthful. Therefore, be it resolved that Dale Twofoot be appointed as the citizen representative to the GSOW Handyman Committee with the term of office to expire December 31st, 2024. With that, second, Councilor McDonald. Discussion. All in favor? Okay, you have the draft drainage bylaw.
Yes.
Everybody has the opportunity to take a look at it. We do that as resolution right away, or do
No, I would say go ahead and do this. The action of bylaw itself can take just yet.
be it resolved that the draft-based drainage bylaw be received and reviewed individually by members of council, whereby any questions or comments shall be forwarded to the CAO by July 5th, 2024 for consideration when the bylaw is brought forward for first reading at the July meeting of council. With that, Dr. Don, seconder, Fisher. Discussion. All in favor? Be it resolved that this meeting is now adjourned. Meet again on July 16th, 2024, at 10 a.m. at the municipal office. Then, second, Councilor Fisher, all in favor?